Imagine the smell of burning rubber and the sound of gravel slipping away into nothing. You slam the brakes and your car stops, 2 inches from a sheer drop. That breathless moment right after a disaster averts itself is intoxicating. It taps into a deeply rooted human fantasy, the clean slate. We all crave the sudden, magical opportunity to hit a reset button on our worst decisions. In this image, the central subtitle asks, when fate offers a do-over, is it a blessing or a curse? To answer that, we have to look at how a second chance actually alters our brain chemistry. Culturally, we assume a close call guarantees a happy ending. We tell ourselves that if we just get one more shot, we will automatically make perfect choices and live out our days with endless gratitude. The clinical reality is much messier. Being granted a do-over doesn't peacefully reset your brain. It delivers a massive, destabilizing neurological shock to your emotional baseline. Fate stepping in is never a guaranteed fairy tale. Depending entirely on how your brain processes that sudden shock, getting exactly what you prayed for can become a profound salvation or an agonizing trap. Dodging a catastrophic loss feels like breaking the surface of deep water. Absolute panic is instantly replaced by a profound, desperate gasp of relief. For those who experience the do-over as a blessing, this relief acts as the launchpad for a documented psychological phase known as post-traumatic growth. It starts with the contrast effect. Your brain begins a relentless, involuntary comparison between the reality where you survived and the dark alternative that missed you by a fraction of an inch. By constantly measuring against that disaster, your mind generates a massive, sustained surge of gratitude. This gratitude translates directly into biological fuel, resulting in sudden bursts of resilience, unwavering motivation, and clarity of purpose. This chart maps that emotional trajectory. The baseline drops sharply at near failure, but the relief triggers a steep upward surge, pushing capacity above where they started. We call this crest the honeymoon phase. It's the highest point of optimism, where the survivor feels invincible. During this specific window, the near loss acts as a powerful catalyst. It temporarily overrides standard emotional limits, revealing an incredibly driven, highly capable version of the individual. The human brain, however, cannot sustain a permanent neurochemical high. That intense spike of optimism eventually has to fade. When the adrenaline clears, a darker reality sets in. The survivor is suddenly left carrying a crushing daily weight of expectation. They feel an absolute obligation to justify and earn the second chance they were given. This intense pressure breeds a specific pathology, hyper-vigilance. The brain shifts from celebrating survival to constantly scanning the environment for the next catastrophic failure. Suddenly, every minor choice feels fraught. The individual becomes terrified of making even the smallest mistake, treating routine decisions as life or death threats because they cannot bear the thought of wasting their reprieve. This extreme self-scrutiny inevitably triggers severe imposter syndrome. The person starts to believe they are a fraud, unworthy of the salvation they were randomly handed. This creates a paralyzing psychological loop. A second chance generates crushing expectation, sparking hypervigilance. Anxiety disrupts performance, leading to self-sabotage, piling on more expectation. This cycle consumes enormous cognitive energy. Eventually, the fear of failing again actively destroys the opportunity they're desperately trying to protect. The curse of a second chance is waking up to the reality that you aren't starting with a clean slate at all. You are starting your new life with a crippling deficit of self-trust. The truth is, the second chance itself is completely neutral. It carries no inherent positivity or negativity. Fate's intervention acts strictly as an emotional amplifier. It equally magnifies the immense joy of survival and the deep-seated terror of repeating past mistakes. The singular factor that determines which of those paths you walk down isn't luck. It is entirely a matter of psychological framing. You guarantee the curse when you attempt to pretend the near miss never happened. Striving for a flawless, impossible reset while burying the trauma only ensures that fear will dictate your choices. Reclaiming the do-over as a blessing requires active acceptance of the trauma. This means taking the painful scars of that first failure and treating them as essential, hard-won data for your second attempt. Think of the Japanese art of Kintsugi. The broken bowl isn't discarded, and the cracks aren't hidden. The damage is repaired with gold, and those very seams create a structure that is stronger and more valuable than the original. The outcome of a narrow escape is never actually controlled by fate. It is dictated entirely by human perception and the active, deliberate integration of your past mistakes. When the universe offers you a do-over, success doesn't come from running away from your failure. Instead, it depends entirely on the strength of your grip as you reach back to pull yourself forward.